And hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting the show. If you want to check us out on all of our social media platforms, check us out on Twitter at Tinfoil Hat Cast.
On Instagram at Tinfoil Hat Pod.
You can find us on Reddit. It's reddit.com/r/tinfoil hat show. Or allcomedyt-shirts.com.
If you have any suggestions for future guests or topics, go ahead and email us at tinfoilhatpod@gmail.com.
Welcome back to another episode of Tinfoil Hat.
Come with me into the waters of conspiracy with Sam Tripoli.
Sam Tripoli.
Sam?
Tripoli.
Sam Tripoli.
Mr. Sam Tripoli. With my friend Ryan Davis.
Hi, Ryan.
We're like doing this gay couple of conspiracy theories.
I think it's beautiful, man.
It's some mystical, deep, dark realm crazy shit.
Wake up, Aaron. The vampire people are here.
Hey man, where's the truth there, dog?
Oh, what the fuck are you guys even talking about?
Are you ready to get your mind blown?
Revolution will be podcasted.
Yeah. Thank you, Aaron. And what up, everybody? Welcome to another Tinfoil Hat. You know who we are. You know what we're here to do. Very excited. This is our last show, but we're going to put out a special show. I think I'm going to release the Black Cube episode of Patreon right before the end because it was such a funny-ass episode. I like people to hear what we're doing on Patreon. But this is the last one in studio. The year is gone, and it couldn't have gone better. We've had such an amazing, amazing year, Tinfoil Hat, and it's all because of you guys. You guys have been such incredible supporters of the show, and your energy grows the show, right?
Much love, no hate.
No hate, and sometimes there is some hate, and that's fine. I've got to come to grips with it, and that's just life. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I only got one date to push right now. I am going to be in Tampa for New Year's. That's right.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Tampa Bay. I'll be at the Tampa Improv December 31st. And then I'll be there the 3rd and 4th. So come hang out and get weird, homeboy. Do you know in Tampa there's a guy who walks around and licks shoes, the bottom of your shoes? He's a serial licker.
And his name is Sam Tripoli.
No, he's not. That is one fetish I do not have.
All right.
But I do have a lot. And guys, thank you guys so much for everything you guys have been doing for the show. So we've been asked to do a show on this topic for a while.
That's true.
And we kind of talked about it before with David Seaman, but that was more about pedogate.
Yep.
So we said, let's do this, man. And so today we're going to introduce our guest. We're going to get into a little Bitcoin and some cryptocurrency. Why don't you tell us about our guest?
All right. Despite being in the news on an almost hourly basis, there are still many people struggling to get their heads around the cryptocurrency phenomenon. Here to help us unpack this multi-layered cake of weirdness, please help us welcome Dale Sung, everyone.
Dale Sung, what's up, buddy?
What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
I got to be honest with you, you're the first Asian I've ever met named Dale.
Yeah, me too. I was born in Wisconsin, too, so go figure.
Oh, shit, snaps.
Yeah, I don't know. It just kind of happened that way.
That's
on a
awesome.
farm with, like, cows and living on an apple orchard. It was good stuff.
Your family were farmers?
Kind of. My dad was a doctor, but we just happened to live on an apple orchard.
Oh, that's crazy. That's
Nice.
great. And that makes sense. That makes sense, right? I mean,
Yeah,
they need
exactly.
doctors in Wisconsin, right?
Well, actually, I'm from Illinois. I was just born there. And then we moved over to Lake Zurich.
Okay.
If you guys ever heard of that.
No.
Oh, is that the Ozarks? That's not the Ozarks, right?
It's kind of close, but it's Lake Zurich, Illinois. About 5,000 people when I was there.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I was literally the only Asian person there, too.
You were the
so-
closest thing to black they had, huh?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, how was that?
That was kind of fucked up.
That's great.
So
That's great.
What brought you to L.A.?
I came out here because, well, the fucking weather. I mean, come on.
There you go.
Like, I came out here for the first time, and, Yeah, I didn't want to deal with that.
Now,
snow
I'm
bullshit.
Armenian, dude. I'm Armenian.
Ich
Okay?
weiß.
Right, yeah. So you speak more than I do. I'm from upstate
There
New
you
York. We have a large Armenian population, but and I'm older than you. But we were from a time where you assimilated in, you
Yeah.
know. So we weren't trying to be super Armo.
Yeah.
We were trying to be white people, and I literally thought I was white until I moved to L.A. And then Paul Mooney called me the N-word and told me I'm not white. You're Armenian, and he dropped a hard NR on me, man, which is from Paul Mooney is like a real badge of honor. But I always get hit up all the time about being, like, hey, you Armenian? Yeah. And then I'm like, dude, I don't speak. They're like, why don't you speak it, bro? And I'm like, well, because my family got here before yours. And there was a time where we assimilated in. I still think I love holding on to culture, but I also think that we all need to come together, you know?
So your only two Armo characteristics is hair and anger?
No. This is why I can't be an actor, okay? Because I have two emotions, horny and angry. That's it.
Hangry.
Hangry. Yeah, that's it, dude. So if you need me to play a taxi driver, I'm good to go. Now, you grew up in Illinois,
Yeah.
the only Asian,
Literally the only one.
and so you come out here and there's a
And I was
lot
like,
of
what
Asian.
the fuck? There's actually people that look like me.
Yeah.
In America.
Yeah.
So that was obviously a nice little,
But when they hit you up, was it weird because maybe you didn't have the culture of that? I mean, your mother and your parents obviously were, they had culture, but like you didn't have the community around you, right? Was that weird to come into that?
Oh, definitely weird, but also at the same time it was pretty cool. Because yeah, it's nice to see that people like me are living in America.
Yeah.
And
I love it.
It's dope. I like it.
People always ask me what's my favorite thing about America. Like I'll go around the world, spitting some high quality, multi-level dick jokes to the people. That's why they do call me the Carl Sagan of dick jokes. Okay, so, and they always ask me, "Hey Sam, what do you miss about America when I'm gone?" And then you know what I miss? The diversity.
Oh, yeah.
I love that we live in a super melting pot. And I get why racists are so angry. Just imagine how your entertainment choices when you're a racist are like what? Country music, Fox News, NASCAR. You can't like a lot. That's a very boring fucking world.
That's very specific racist, though.
Yeah.
That's redneck.
Yeah.
There's many races.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, it could definitely be improved upon still.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it's.
I mean,
it's
what we're
better
doing,
than, like,
dude, is like it's very. You haven't really been seeing. What we're trying to do is get away from the herd mentality.
I agree.
And
Absolutely.
we're literally trying to create a group where you don't know your group by look. Do you know what I'm saying? Like we're cavemen. We run in our clique and our herd, and we know our herd by basically we all look alike. And now what we're doing is like that doesn't count anymore, which I'm cool with. Now you're like our herd is geography.
Yeah.
Geopolitical now, you know?
Is it true what Chappelle says about Asians, that the only Asians that hate on are other Asians? Because I can tell that you're from Bobby's clan, right? Korean?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
So you got the K-pop style. Do you like K-Town? Do you ever get down there?
I mean, I definitely enjoy the food.
Yeah.
I don't actually have that many Korean friends, but
Right on.
Yeah.
I'm not like
You're
you know,
LA,
like
man.
ethnicist to my
No, you're
own
just a dude,
people.
man.
It's-
You're just a dude.
Yeah, no, I don't like judge. It doesn't matter. I don't judge people. Just in
You're like
general,
a Verizon Wireless commercial where you have one of everybody in your crew, right?
There you go. Yeah. No,
Right.
I don't discriminate. I love people, and
Yeah, me
I
too,
give
dude.
everybody a chance because
Me too.
everybody deserves it. Everyone's got the same, heart,
Yeah.
emotions, feelings, dreams, desires. So
It's kind of synchronicitous how we even got in contact with one another. We both know Detective 47.
yeah.
And he was like, man, if you're going to talk about cryptocurrencies, I got the guy for you. So give us, for those at home and for us here in the studio, how did you get involved into cryptocurrency to begin with?
So it's a pretty cool story. I've always heard about it back when it first was introduced back in 2009.
Which is now considered back in the day. Isn't that crazy? 2009 is back in the
That
day.
is back in the day. That's a minute. That's a little bit of a minute ago.
Almost a decade.
Yeah, it's
But-
crazy, right?
Yeah, back in 2009, Bitcoin was created. So Bitcoin was obviously, for those of you that don't know, it's essentially a peer-to-peer cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency it's essentially just digital money, but there's also more utility for cryptocurrency. You can do pay royalties for artists. You can have smart contracts for escrows, titling, equity services. It's literally endless, and it's incredibly more efficient for large corporations. Banks are getting into it. There's just so many use cases for it.
Right.
For me, though, in particular, like, how I got introduced to it was, I was playing online poker at the time, back around.
Now, is that still legal, or is that illegal now?
I don't fucking know. I don't really play anymore. But I don't know. I don't know.
How long would you play?
Man,
would you sit down, just go for it?
I would go at it.
So you play online poker against other people?
Yeah.
Oh man, crazy world, right?
What's the most you ever won? If you want to disclose that.
I mean, it was definitely a good amount. It was a good amount.
There you go.
So I mean, here I am. I'm ready to cash out, and at the time I've been cashing out for using just wire transfers.
Mm-hmm.
So wire transfers take anywhere from 3 to 5 days. The other alternative would be just a check, which gets mailed to you. It takes 3 to 5 weeks. So I was like, what? No,
Yeah,
I want
that's
my
forever.
fucking money.
Yeah.
So the wire transfer obviously was the best alternative at the time, but by the time it gets to your bank, you're paying a large fee, because it's basically these the online poker company that I was actually a part of. They weren't here in the States. They were, I don't know where the fuck they were. They were like somewhere in the island somewhere. So they would transfer the money to an offshore bank, which would transfer to another offshore bank. And then by the time it hits to my account, it's like hit 5 different banks. And, you're charged like, I don't know, something ridiculous, like over 5% maybe. It was like, let's just say for like every 1,000, it would be like almost like $50. Something ridiculous like that.
Yeah. That's a
so,
lot.
Finally, one day, I this other option pops up. It says Bitcoin. So I was like, all right, well, I'm kind of interested in that. I've
it
heard
says
of
it on the website.
Yeah, so on the payout options, there's the wire transfer, the check, and then there's also this Bitcoin option. So I was like, well, I've heard of it. I know that it's like this online payment thing. I'm not very familiar with it, but let me test out a little bit of money here. So, I tested out like $500, and I was like, all right, if I lose this, then all right.
It's 500.
It's 500, but I'll test it out. 'Cause
Right.
It says that you can receive it in 15 minutes. So I was like, that's, like compared to 3 to 5 business days, plus the fee, it was free. So I was like, all right, well, let me give it a shot. I go set it all up. You have to get a Bitcoin wallet. So I was like, what the fuck is a Bitcoin wallet? I mean, how? So I start researching all this information, find the Bitcoin wallet, finally get the address. So you get these addresses that are attached to your wallet. And then once you're looking at me like, what the fuck?
Whoa, man, this is like some fucking Fight Club shit.
Yeah. So you get this like crazy wallet address, which is unique to your wallet. And you have all your information to go into the wallet. There's ways to authenticate. It'll like send you an email, it'll send you a text, to verify that this in fact is you that is receiving this money or trying to send the money. So I go through the motions. I finally get the wallet address submitted over there to the online site, and in literally 5 minutes I get my money. So I was like, whoa, this is fucking dope. I get this in 5 minutes, and I mean, obviously, who wants to wait?
Now
3 to 5 days?
you get Bitcoin, right? You got Bitcoin,
or
did you get like something you could actually?
Yeah, no, you do get the Bitcoin. So now I have paid in Bitcoin.
Okay, so now you have this Bitcoin,
So
and now
now-
you've got this world to find out where you could spend this
Now
Bitcoin.
I have Bitcoin. So like this is back in 2014. So this is back in 2014. So for those of you that don't know,
That was before net neutrality.
yeah,
Yeah.
that motherfucker. Back in 2014, I was withdrawing $500, which was my little test to see if this in fact works. And that $500 that I cashed out was about 2.2 Bitcoins.
Interesting.
Back in 2014. I don't know if you guys know the peak of Bitcoin about in the past 2 weeks or so. It's hit right around 20K. Depending on where you are, though, it hit like 26K in Ghana. It hit 25K.
We'll get
in
into that because I
South
need to know.
Korea.
Because you say 20K, that's 20,000 bucks.
20,000
Bitcoin?
20,000 US dollars
'Cause sometimes
for
I-
one Bitcoin.
I go buy boner pills and they'll throw like 33K on that, and I don't even know what that number means when I buy a boner pill. Like, what does that number mean?
That's the number you tell the emergency room surgeon.
Okay, they're like, hey, dude, how jacked on boner pills are? I'm at 33K.
Yep,
You
Black
think they'd
Rhino.
ever have a? You think they'd ever have a an intervention show on a guy who can't stop popping boner pills?
Starring me?
Yeah, do an intervention on
Is
me.
this what's happening right now? They're going to come through the room?
So let's get into let's start from where it starts. Can you give us a little history on what? And some people might know this is for people that have no clue what's going on. And real quick, I want to go. We got an hour. We're gonna go through this whole thing. I want to get to the end. So at the end, if you make a decision, you're like, I want to try this. You could do this. Results vary. I don't. We can't guarantee anything. I'm just can't do it. You can't invest everything, then go, hey, Tripoli, it didn't work out. And this is your own thing. I'm trying to give you guys the information that you guys can do a little more your own research and then see if you want to get into this.
I'm actually going to be starting. I have already started with a good friend of mine. We're starting a online cryptocurrency academy. So literally from A to Z for anybody that doesn't know what the fuck it is, how to use it, how to open up a wallet, exchange money, trade, withdraw money. Literally everything from A to Z we're covering in this online school.
All right, so let's get into this. No, that's going to be great. When do you think that's going to be out?
I think it'll be ready by about the next 2 months.
Nice.
Maybe a little earlier than that.
Well, Dale, tell me if I'm incorrect from what I was researching about it. So cryptocurrency is a digital money system designed to make transactions super secure. The complex tender uses cryptography, a form of secret coding originating from the Second World War, to process transactions securely and verify them. A host of different currencies exist under cryptocurrency banner. The most known is Bitcoin, created in 2009 as a form of digital money and world payment system.
Now, before this, there had been attempts at this, right? They'd attempted to do a digital currency. Most likely the first time was on Super Mario, right? Is that the coins he's going to grab?
Yeah, exactly. That's where it was inspired from.
So mining Bitcoin involves a complex computer solving.
Well, let's get, because there's some stuff in
This is just breaking down here. So, because a computer solving a difficult mathematical problem with a 64-bit solution. For each problem solved, one block of Bitcoin is processed. So this is the term mining.
Okay.
So the computer does a full-on mathematical equation, and after that shit gets done, and you mine a single Bitcoin.
Oh my God.
Now, where it all stems from, what is it? Satoshi Nakamoto? Explain to those that don't know him. So what's that about?
Nobody knows him, right?
He's a mystery man. Nobody really knows what he looks like. The guy was originally this economist that the whole idea of Bitcoin was really where it really came from was Satoshi Nakamoto and all these other economists that were saying that Bitcoin is a way to distribute wealth and money to other people that rightfully own it. It gets a little bit into the whole idea that we want to decentralize the power of institutions, banks, governments, etc., things like that. So, the whole idea is you put your money in a bank, the bank takes your money, lets somebody else borrow that money, and they pay them interest. And, like mortgages, loans, things like that.
So it's a debt-based system on fractional banking.
Well, yeah, man. It's like that whole thing about, I'm not religious, but look at the story of Jesus, man. Who killed Jesus? There's always, the Jews. It's not the Jews. Jesus was a Jew. The bankers. Why'd they go crazy on Jesus? Because he walked into the market, kicked over their tables, going, you You can't charge interest
Exchange
on money.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So the conspiracy is that Jesus was killed by bankers.
Jesus was woke, homeboy. That's all I'm trying to say. Jesus was woke. That'll be a new T-shirt. Jesus was woke. Basically, it was this whole thing because, and it had something to do also with like the crash, right? That this came out a little after the crash. The crash happened in 2007, 2008. That kind of affected they believe
economy.
the economy. Obviously affected comedy, affected the election. Obama gets elected, and the whole thing is that this guy feels like we gotta get away from this, because I mean, like if you look at what the banks were doing, like Goldman Sachs, right? Goldman Sachs was putting together portfolios. Anybody who's for deregulation, they have to hear this. They were putting together portfolios
with bullshit loans.
with properties, real estate properties in it, that they knew loans that they knew were going to falter, and they told their investors to invest in that, and then they took insurance out on it.
Exactly, banking on the fact that these house values would appreciate, even though they're like class level D, just bullshit.
Right,
assets.
100%. I was trying to look for this. Someone put out a
It's
funny
funny though,
meme.
like Goldman Sachs actually right now is gonna start diversifying their portfolio with Bitcoin.
See, that makes me nervous.
You know, it's fucking crazy, and I don't know if you guys know this, but the New York Stock Exchange is they're actually trying to get the ETF to get it as
a way to buy stocks
yes,
and pay stocks.
as a way to basically get hedge funds to trade Bitcoin.
Okay. We'll get into all that too. I want to get into more of that because that's after like kind of what could be a problem with Bitcoin. So this guy invents this thing. I was trying to find a meme while you were talking. Someone put out that like 2 Japanese electronic stores and like 2 Korean. Like you find this guy's name in those 4 companies.
Oh, they think it's an acronym built out of like Samsung. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, something Yamamoto, something like that.
Motorola. So it's like the name itself is. It's interesting.
So no one knows who this dude is, or they do know who he is, or.
I wish that. I mean, he's a fucking genius, and he's sitting on a ton of fucking Bitcoin. He's honestly like no one really knows him, and he wanted to keep himself disguised. He wasn't doing it for the fame or anything. He was really doing it because he wanted to offer a new system that could potentially take the leverage away from centralized institutions. So
yeah, like the Federal Reserve that taxes us on all of our money, and that the reason we're going into we want to go into North Korea and we want to go into Venezuela is because they want to get off the petrodollar. What's the petrodollar? In case you don't know, the petrodollar is the Federal Reserve, and Nixon took us off the gold standard because our inflation was so high, and they backed their money by Saudi oil. And that's, you have unlimited oil, right? It's unlimited. So you can print as much money as you want. And now anybody who tries to get off the petrodollar, now the hammer comes, which is a big thing and we'll get into this too. Everyone's saying buy Bitcoin before the end of the year.
Why is that? Have you heard that in the rumors?
In the chat rooms?
I mean, it's entirely up to you. I'm not a financial advisor,
how'd you go from playing computer rounders into getting deeper and deeper into this? So because since you're our go-to guy, explain to people like where you are sitting at now and how'd you get involved deeper into this crypto?
Well, obviously when I was first introduced to it, I started seeing the potential. I didn't know that it would get to this level, but I had an idea that it could. I just didn't know that, if the government was going to ban it, there was ideas that they would ban it, that other countries, but it's almost like, how do you ban the internet? Like, how do you pull the fucking plug? You really can't. But it's just, I had no idea how much it would really get adopted by the masses. I mean, it's still a ways to go. But at the same time, it's a very healthy future. I can see it's a very, very, very healthy future for, anyone that doesn't know about it or that isn't a part of it right now. It's still, a lot of people are like, oh my God, Dale, is it too late to get in the game? I remember when Ether was like people were telling me to buy Ethereum at $20, but now it's $800. Isn't it too late? It's this global market cap, which is essentially the total amount of money that has been invested into cryptocurrency, is at 600. Right now, it's about 600 billion. Yesterday, it was floating around 640 billion. So obviously, like, you can tell from 640 to 600 how volatile this type of industry is.
Interesting.
For a lot of people, it's tough to deal with. I remember when I was first telling my friends to check it out, they called me up and be like, "Oh my God, Bitcoin's down 20%. What the fuck do I do?" I'm like, just fucking relax, just hold. And that's, honestly, that's one of the biggest things. If you actually start getting into this and you actually are investing seriously and you have an actual plan for why you're doing it, you have to make sure that you have your complete emotions and mentality completely in check. That's literally the number one thing. You have to.
Can't live and die by ups and peaks and valleys.
No, you have to have a plan. For me, literally every type of coin that I'm invested in, I have a fucking plan before I go into it, while it's performing, how it's performing, and I have a plan for how long I hold it for, what I do once it reaches a certain level, what I do once it falls to a certain level. There are times that I've invested in some of these coins and they've outperformed my expectations. So, like those are also emotions that you have to learn to control, because like when you're in that kind of level too, you're never really done until you cash it out.
Right.
So how many different cryptocurrencies are there?
Hold on.
my God.
Can we get through
Thousands.
this real quick? I want to get in how to do this, get into it. Then I want to talk about the ups and downs, and it's very interesting to me.
How do you do this?
Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to be honest with you. I'm on this website called what's this? For some reason, my computer is just fucking up here. It's called
Just ask me. What do you want to know?
Block Geeks. I'm getting a lot of this information from Block Geeks.
Okay.
So let's say I've invested in some Bitcoin. Where would I go to buy Bitcoin?
You have to go to an exchange.
What are some of the exchanges that you think would be best to do?
Honestly,
Give us the inside scoop, dog. Some inside info.
I personally don't like any of the exchanges myself, because they're all going to be tied to the IRS, and they're literally handing over all of your information to the IRS so that they can set you up for
Taxation.
Yeah, I mean they're not. At first, everyone's like, "What the fuck is this? Is it real? Is there value?" And now they see that the market cap goes from something like 100 billion to 600 billion. They're like, "Whoa, we want a fucking piece of that."
Yeah, of course.
So,
Yeah, of course.
Personally.
That's why weed took forever to legalize. They had to figure out how they could fucking tax it.
Yeah, exactly. Now they want their money too. And the weed industry in LA is supposed to be a big fucking industry, right? It's supposed to be by 2020 $30 billion. Yeah. Well, like cryptocurrency shits on that. Like it literally just dropped 40 billion last night, like today. So that's how big of an industry it is.
What crypto do you use? What cryptocurrency do you use? Is it called Coinbase?
Well, you can use Coinbase. That's one of the most easiest ones to use. About 100,000 people are joining Coinbase. There's other exchanges that you can jump on. You can also get coins from localbitcoins.com. You can literally meet people up and just give them cash and they'll send it to you. You can have like a private wallet, which is an exchange, and then you can.
I can just show up some dude going, and I got to hand him like how much money if I wanted to buy one Bitcoin right now would I have to hand him?
Right now it's about $15K.
$15,000 for one motherfucking Bitcoin.
Yeah, well it just dropped. About a week ago it was about $20K.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like this weird shadiness to it because it's got like
it's just
implications.
I'm trying to wrap my head around it.
It's a big. There's a lot to it.
I dropped $15K on this, right?
Yeah.
15,700
is the price right now.
15,700. I go on my computer. I meet down at the local Bitcoin shop where the kids are all hanging out. You know,
Vaping.
it's like a black barber shop. Everyone's just hanging out, telling cool stories. And I decided to buy Bitcoin. I buy one Bitcoin, and that is worth 15,700. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
So I got this Bitcoin. Now I want to buy service. Let's say I want to buy your new school, right? This new school you have to learn how to do Bitcoin, and I want to pay for it in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
what would
we
I
accept-
I contact you, right? I contact, hey, I wanted to get some. I want to buy your school. So I hit you up.
Yeah.
Is this how it goes? And
Yeah, exactly.
you agree?
So, yeah, I mean, well, we're gonna accept all forms of cryptocurrency, but at the same time, it's so like.
Can I break my Bitcoin
Yeah, you
up?
can break it up. You could break it up. So our school is gonna be $497. So it would just be $497 divided by 15,700, and that would break it out to what the actual point. It would be .0000. Like .000005.
So you're saying your school's gonna be like $450? Is that what you're saying? So
Yeah.
you would take $450 from my 15.
from your one Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So your one Bitcoin.
So now I got like a
you
half
got-
a Bitcoin.
No,
it
half
still-
a Bitcoin would be 7,000.
Oh, okay. So I have like a little. I have
8,700.
like a $15,000 Bitcoin,
Yeah.
or around that. Where did the
Well, no,
numbers?
you're
fuzzy math.
You're not gonna have one Bitcoin anymore. You'll have about .9990.
Yeah.
5
Okay.
or 5, whatever,
Okay.
whatever the fucking number
Okay.
it comes out to.
So we agree. I'm gonna buy your awesome new school. So we what we do? We requested transactions is broadcasted to people, right? This is the big thing. It's people to people. Is that how it goes?
Yeah, that's just one example of what Bitcoin can do. Bitcoin is the most limited form of cryptocurrency, but at the same time, it's literally the king of cryptocurrency because it was the first to enter into the industry. Obviously,
It's like MySpace.
it's like MySpace or I don't know.
One of these
Yahoo,
young whippersnappers are
something
gonna
like-
come up and take its thunder eventually.
There already are other ones that are coming around that have a lot more value. But at the same time, Bitcoin is it's the digital gold right now. It's digital gold 2.0.
Okay.
A lot of people don't. There are merchants that obviously accept Bitcoin. You can go to like a restaurant, certain places of the country and in the world that will accept Bitcoin. There are e-commerce stores, places online that will accept Bitcoin.
Okay.
But yeah, at the same time, Bitcoin it's slow. You were talking about the mining stuff. It's a consensus algorithm, which is basically a way to validate the transactions to make sure that it's legit, and then it goes on the blockchain.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So you do this, boom. It's consisting of computers. It's a network consisting of computers known as nodes, right?
Nodes.
Nodes. Okay.
Nodes, yeah.
And then there has to be a validation after that, right?
Yeah.
Now everybody has to validate it, or a large group of people have to
So
validate.
it depends on which currency that you're using, and it has to validate the transaction on both ends.
That
right?
both of you are legit. That you have the money and he actually has the product.
No.
Okay. What
No,
do we
th-
validate?
There are what you're talking about. You're a little ahead of yourself. That's some advanced level.
Dude, I got like a black belt.
Yeah, no, that sounds like it.
crypto,
That's
homeboy.
that's called a smart contract.
Yeah.
That's what Ethereum does. But as of right now, blockchain doesn't, and they won't actually be able to have that sort of technology available. But what you're talking about is going through the consensus algorithm. It'll validate the transaction, and it gets recorded on the blockchain.
Okay.
That's the reason why it's so valuable, because it's decentralized. It's decentralized. Like, you literally cannot pull the plug on it. It's just it's out there.
That's a big
already.
thing. Once you spend the money, it is gone.
It's fucking gone.
Nobody
you
can
can't
do
complain it to somebody and be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
wait, my money's gone."
it. Right.
And then that's why you have to make sure that address that you're. I triple check, and I'll copy and paste. I don't ever type it out, because you're literally dealing with like a 26-digit code.
Oh my God! Really?
Yeah, and that code is what allows you to send the transaction. And then there's two-way authentications now. So once you send that transaction, you'll get, for example,
And that is your code
you'll get,
for
like, an
all your
email.
Bitcoins. If you buy a couple Bitcoins.
No. That's the wallet. So it's
The
wallet address.
The wallet
so I'm talking about
address.
that ID is the wallet address.
But is that ID good for all your Bitcoin? it's
you could technically use the same address if you want. Yeah. I mean,
Or do you, every Bitcoin get its own address?
you could also have your own address. You could have a separate address you could have one wallet with literally infinite addresses if you want. That would be
Chaos.
Yeah, you don't need to do that though. You could just have one address. And so I could
So
I
weird,
could tell
dude.
everybody out there, hey, this is my address, 1LZH, 2WPP, whatever, blah blah blah.
Blah, blah,
You gotta
blah.
go to that fucking address and send me some Bitcoin, show me some love, everybody. You know, and I could
Interesting.
continue to use that. There are people online that do that. They have this address and they just they tell people, hey, if you guys like what I'm doing or if you guys like my information, go ahead and donate some money to me. Here's my tip jar. So it's okay. You can do that. Nobody can hack you. It's safe. But the reason why that this whole Bitcoin cryptocurrency, why it's so valuable is because of the technology of the blockchain. So you guys are like looking at me like,
Right?
what
No,
the
no,
fuck
no,
is
no,
that?
no. It
The
is.
blockchain is
Yeah. What is the blockchain?
it's literally just a fucking cube. That's it. It's
And
just
what about the black cube?
it's
is
just
back,
the
dude.
black cube and
And it's a cube,
mystery.
and it is. Why is that so important? That this transaction is cemented in stone in this cube. Why does that make that so important?
Because that validates that transaction, it's public.
Okay.
Okay.
So because it's public, anybody can go back and look at that transaction.
Okay. It's just open books.
It is open books. Essentially it's a public accounting ledger, and that's what the blockchain is. So blockchain literally lists every fucking transaction ID, every transaction that was confirmed, every type of transaction that was ever made on the network through the blockchain.
Okay. So then our transaction. I buy your school. Boom. We get the blockchain. That blockchain is added to the
It goes
big blockchain.
it goes to the block. It doesn't. You don't get the blockchain. It goes.
Yeah, right. But I mean, they take and they add to it. It's almost like Jenga, right? They're just adding pieces to this big kind of block this cube, right? So it's like it's permanently in record.
Yeah.
Once that's validated,
It's not really a fucking cube. It's all in the internet. It's all decentralized.
just
It's
in
through the
there.
miners,
There's,
and
it doesn't have a place. There's no place.
the data is all connected together. So
So it's a
everyone
technology. So this it replaces actual physical currency with a tech. It's like the internet of money, as I've been heard people refer to it.
But cryptocurrency is far more than just money. It's a way to verify identification. It's a way to minimize remittance fees. It's a way to utilize royalty assessments like smart contracts. There are so many use cases for it that it's not just about money. It's literally about just more efficiency, better technology. There's so much opportunity from it that it's not just money for peer-to-peer transactions anymore.
Right.
It's the blockchain technology is essentially the internet 2.0.
There you go.
That's really what it is.
It is okay.
You know, like, can you imagine
I
back
get what you're
when
saying.
internet first came out? You
Yeah.
know, like, people are fucking looking at their black and white TV and they're spinning the knob, changing the channels.
Yeah.
And then fucking the internet pops up. Can you imagine, like, bringing this to, like, somebody back in the 50s? Bringing, like, an iPhone that's colored, taking pictures and videos?
Yeah.
To somebody back in the 50s that are, still watching, like, black and white TV. It's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is that?
Right. I'm trying to think, like, how could I explain this to my father?
That's basically
You know-
the technology of it is just so far advanced, and the people that are like working on this, they're fucking geniuses. Like,
Well, so the binary code, people think of it as something that's only used for computer systems, but binary code, it goes zeros and ones. That goes all the way back to the I Ching. So we've been using numerical values to express everything from philosophies to straight up to whatever. Me and you, my name's not Ryan, your name's not Sam. You have a social security number.
Yeah.
So to accept this as the way of the future, that we would more likely than not, some way down the road, why would you not have a Bitcoin wallet that was like,
Right.
this is who I am?
Right. So there's a couple things about these transactions that are pretty interesting. It's irreversible, right?
There's new ones coming out that are able to reverse it.
Is that good?
Yeah, because it makes you essentially hack-proof. Because there have been instances where people hack and steal cryptocurrency from a company or a person.
Well, did you ever hear the story that in I think it's World of War? What is the big one?
World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft, that somebody stole something in the game, and they had him arrested in real life.
Oh yeah, no, I think that I've heard even crazier things about Warcraft. Someone hacked someone else's account and stole some like super precious sword, and that nerd went with a replica of that sword to the guy's house and killed him.
Oh my God, so crazy.
So
That's fucking crazy.
Here's a little thing that makes me nervous. Pseudonyms. Is there anyone going to, it's my problem with the internet. It's like everybody's anonymous, which is good in some things, but bad in other things. It's that, it's like, how do you know who you're dealing with now? Is that kind of is that good so that the government can't tell who you are?
I don't really understand what you're saying.
Is it good that you don't know who you're dealing with? I mean,
What do you mean? What do you mean? I don't know.
Everybody's anonymous, right? I mean, it's anonymous. Am I getting that wrong? Okay, maybe I'm getting that wrong.
It's okay. So there are cryptocurrencies that are completely anonymous.
Yes.
And then there are like Bitcoin, for example. I know who I'm sending the money to.
okay.
So in that sense, it's not really anonymous. It's just
Right.
It's just a easier way, faster way to send money. But Bitcoin now, because there are so many, with the rise in popularity of Bitcoin, there are now. It's just they didn't factor in the scalability, which is a huge problem with the blockchain and Bitcoin, which is why Bitcoin has been transitioning from a peer-to-peer payment to just essentially a store of value. Because
Is that good?
Yeah, it depends on how
Is
you
that
look
getting
at
away
it.
from what it was meant to be?
I mean, is it good
When you make
that
it a store of something, like I'm trying to think about how and where
it's not
does
it's really
the
up to you.
Rothschilds come in and
It's
take this
entirely
thing
up
over.
to you. It's how you see it. For me, I think it's fucking great. I think it's awesome because you literally get to have you can store a ton of value in currency, which is always valued by other people. It's through a fucking little USB drive.
Yeah.
You put it in a cold storage wallet, and that's literally downloadable offline, so you can take it off the blockchain. The transaction and the data will stay there, but you can download your cryptocurrency. So obviously, if you have a lot, that's the best and safest way to do it. You lock it up and you put it on a offline cold storage wallet.
So that's where it differs from our current system. Like right now, Sam, like all your money, if whatever banks that you're part of just go belly up or some shit happens, you can't get your money back. Like
Yeah.
you like, it's weird because I see how people and myself are leery to like jump all in, and you probably shouldn't ever jump all into
Yeah,
anything.
I think you need to
should-
do research, a lot of research.
But we don't own our fucking money now, and our money doesn't represent gold anymore, like you said. So really, all we have is ones and zeros. And so if this is another form of it where it's not debt-based and it's not fractionalized, and I'm able to peer-to-peer, I'm able to do services rendered, I can buy things, there's no stopping this. They've started in 2009, and it's only gotten bigger, correct? Like, it's only just been growing and growing and growing.
Yeah.
So when people hear growth, they think of the inevitable bubble. Is there a bubble to be worried about in Bitcoin?
How does Bitcoin go up and down? Why would it go up and down? People pulling their money out, and that causes it to.
Supply. It's just simple economics.
Suddenly there's a giant
Supply and
supply of Bitcoins come through.
Supply and demand. That's really what it is.
So how would you address the fears of a bubble?
Well,
and how do you describe
once
a bubble?
again, I am not, a financial advisor,
No,
but as far as a bubble goes, a bubble would be it's essentially a speculative mania where people are just overvaluing an asset, the price of an asset that is greater than its intrinsic value.
Okay.
That's really what a bubble is. So,
So does
like back in the day when Goldman Sachs is tying up these portfolios and selling them off as investment opportunities, those portfolios were empty. There wasn't anything in it because the properties and the values it was all bullshit. But here with Bitcoin, there's only 16 million Bitcoins in the world,
and they're never going to make more.
That you can't. That was the way that the network was launched.
So why, if I have $1 bazillion, why don't I just go buy all the Bitcoin?
Yeah, you should.
So is this how people like the Rothschilds and Rockefellers and other Vandenbergs and whoever else, is this how they can control Bitcoin, is by buying a shit ton of it?
It would, yeah, I mean, if Bitcoin became $1 million right now, then they might be able to take all of it. But if they took all of it, then
it wouldn't be worth anything.
Then it probably wouldn't be worth any money anymore.
It only works if another person has a Bitcoin.
Other people have to still have. There's obviously still has to have demand. There has to have some sort of value, and the value is either it's stored as another form of value of currency, as an alternative to currency, or it actually can be used to buy things. But right now, there's like sites online that are offering Lamborghinis for Bitcoins. You're going to be able to buy Bitcoins with a house, or use your Bitcoins to buy a house. There are new currencies, coins that are coming out to be able to do things like that and utilize your Bitcoins. So
now getting into the Rothschilds and all that stuff, the thoughts that this is the beginning of a new world order. Like, this is when you get everybody under. Now,
is this the one world currency?
One world currency, the new world order. Now, you know the whole thing about how they
like I said, the Bitcoin is only just one aspect of the cryptocurrency. There's essentially 4 different types. There's equities, smart contracts, verification, and then there's the actual currency of payment. So there's 4 different types of cryptocurrencies that have different cases. Like I said, the smart contracts. The smart contracts you can use basically between a computer program, so that, let's just say I have a smart contract set up with an artist. Okay. So an artist will play at my house, and every time the artist comes and plays at my house, he will automatically receive 0.1 Bitcoin.
Okay.
And that smart contract will automatically distribute the Bitcoin, not Bitcoin though, but through Ethereum or the different smart contract platforms that are available.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. That totally.
So
makes sense.
That's another use case of it. There are other ways to, like I said, verify identity. There's one with Civic. There's another one called Icon. These ones, they verify identity. So Icon, what they do essentially is they have a partnership with different universities. This launched in Korea. So they have a partnership with different universities and hospitals where you can verify your identity utilizing the cryptocurrency. So these hospitals and these universities are going to be using the cryptocurrency to transfer the data back and forth from the person that they need to verify, and also research data for the hospitals. And they're going to allow other blockchains to come in and use that technology, so it's more efficient, it's faster, the cost. Think about how much money it would take to, how much money they can save at the same time, utilizing newer technologies. It's also the same thing with One of the ones that I really like, it's called Kasha. Kasha they're basically a new cryptocurrency as well, which they're utilizing Forex technology, or the Forex market, only primarily because in certain parts of the countries, like in America or different places in the world, it's still not completely regulated.
Yes.
So that in order for some of these institutions to be sending money through the cryptocurrency, they're not allowed to.
So there's many
So
diverse applications for this
Extremely.
in the modern world.
It's literally endless. There are so many. There's like another one called Gut Tickets. It's another one where you can buy tickets online through your phone that will send the ticket straight to your wallet. It'll send it straight to your phone. And people don't have to go through Ticketmaster anymore. You could literally just go through, like, these companies can sign up with Gut Tickets. They can utilize their cryptocurrency, and instead of them paying Ticketmaster a fee to hold the ticketing and distribute the tickets, it will literally just go to the end user.
So when I think of technology is a complex systems that make things simpler for us.
Yeah.
Like how hard it would be for me to send an email to you, Sam.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
There's many complex moving parts to this. The thing that fascinates me about cryptocurrencies is it taps into the unbanked, and that's India and Africa. We're talking about people that don't have an infrastructure at all.
Yeah.
So if they're able to get to Wi-Fi, then they can actually they don't have access to banks because they're not in that type of world. And we're talking about like 2.1 billion people on this planet are without
2.5
without banks, right?
2.5 billion people that are unbanked in
So
this world.
Oh my God!
Can you imagine? That's just, you don't think about that kind of stuff here, here in America, but over in
because I got a Chase on every corner.
Yeah,
I got a Chase inside of Starbucks.
We got first world
inside
problems
of Chipotle.
over here.
Yeah, so this is the socioeconomic reformation, basically.
But that's the nature of, I mean, that's just the reality of it. But at the same time, when you do, let's just say we have these people that are coming out of their country from like India, and they want to send money back to their family.
Mm-hmm.
And if they want to do that, if they are sending money back into a family where they don't have a bank, it costs about 20 to 25% to just the transaction fee to send that money back. So if I send $1,000, it can cost up to $250. They take it out of the front. So now the person that needs that money is only getting $750.
Yeah.
Now with cryptocurrency, specifically with Kasha, what they're able to do now is send that money for literally fractions of that. I mean, maybe
and it's instantaneous, right?
Maybe $1.
And it gets there in like 15 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yes, it does, but they're also using the Forex market so that they can.
What is the Forex market?
The foreign exchange market.
Okay.
Foreign exchange market. It's about $70 trillion. There's about 70 trillion, but there's really $200 trillion in the world. But on the foreign exchange market, it's $5.5 trillion is traded every single day.
Wow.
That's a big number.
That is a big number, dude.
Yeah, that's a
That's
really
a lot of
fucking
cash,
big number.
homeboy.
So they're using the Forex market, and that way, if I'm sending it over here, then they can get whatever, whatever the currency is over in India or in Africa or wherever it needs to go, wherever they need that money. They're not going to get the U.S. dollar. They get that money and converted to at a very, very low fee.
So this is a technology that helps us break out of our banking enslavement system. So we just kind of switch owners. We switch slave masters.
Here's the whole thing. Do you know how the Rothschilds came into really power? So the head Rothschild, I forget what his name is. He's brilliant, right? Like I think at like 10 years old, he was already interning at some at banks and stuff. He's like very ahead of his time. So what happens is that England and France go to war. And what he did was he found out that England had won the war, but nobody knew it yet. So he ran back and told everybody, he had people in place. He told everybody that France had lost. I mean, France had won and Britain had lost. And everybody freaked out and they sold all their bonds. They sold all their bonds. He came in and bought all the bonds. He literally basically took the pound over.
So a house built on lies.
Yeah. So my whole thing is like, if this is a one world order or one world, currency, if everybody invests their money in this, a lot of it, what stops them from just pulling the plug from it? Is that possible?
Who?
The powers that be, the people who run the internet, the deep state, darker forces at work.
I don't know how the fuck you could do that. It's all decentralized. All the information's out there. There's value.
There's no one place that Bitcoin is traded. It's traded in the ether. Is that what you're saying? That so they can't control it?
There's literally no way to. You can ban it through the internet somehow with maybe like a IP type of thing, but there's literally no way to just turn it off.
So the other concerns is what's like the potential, because we're talking about the dark net and darkness and cybercrime. So can I buy illegal drugs, child porn? Can I hire a hitman to kill my ex-girlfriend or future ex-girlfriend?
There are fucking weirdos out there, and they're going to do what they do regardless.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't really have anything to do with Bitcoin because, you could totally do that.
Because
originally, Bitcoin had a kind of a bad rap because on the Silk Road, people were doing some crazy shit and using Bitcoin.
That's what I mean.
Because it wasn't directly tied with your name,
exactly.
which is the case, but nowadays there are companies that are able to follow from the original transaction because of the blockchain. The technology wasn't developed enough at the time where people understood how to follow through the blockchain and follow that transaction. But now there are technologies being developed so that essentially the IRS is working with these different exchanges. There was a federal judge that basically said that they can work together in order to find out who's not paying their tax, because back about last year there was about maybe like 200 people that reported capital gains. So
interesting. Well, so this is some breaking news shit that literally just happened this week. Here goes. Have you heard of the National Defense Authorization Act? So President Trump signed into law. It's going to happen in 2018. The National Defense Authorization Act, this past Tuesday, December 19th, 2017. It is a $700 billion defense policy bill that mandates for a briefing on cyber applications of blockchain technology. Language within the bill is part of a much wider effort to modernize the United States military before decades of what they call hybrid wars break out. So the blockchain study, according to the bill, will create, quote, an assessment of efforts by foreign powers, extremist organizations, and criminal networks to utilize such technologies. The fact that they just went straight in and signed this shit means that it's
bankers run everything, dude.
Popping up on the radar.
This has to freak them out.
Oh, it's on the radar.
It has to, dude.
Yeah.
You're getting rid of them.
Yeah. So like I said before, I didn't really get into the numbers of it, but from 2009 to 2017, Bitcoin and all these altcoins, which are the alternative coins, the total amount of money that was invested from 2009 to 2017, about up until 6 months ago, mid-2017, it was $100 billion.
Damn.
So that's a lot of money still,
That is
right? That's a lot of money. But in the last 6 months, I don't know if you guys remember how much I told you was the global market cap right now, but it's $600 billion. This morning, it was $640 billion. So it's grown just in this past 6 months. It's grown 540 billion, 540%. Just fucking crazy.
So in your own personal
So what does that
world,
mean? Just like that's how many people have invested in it? That's
That
how many
means
people bought
that
coins?
that many people, new money is coming in
Yeah.
$540 billion is new money.
So in your own personal experience, have you seen people come up big?
Fuck yeah.
Any numbers you can throw out?
The Winklevoss brothers, they're cashing out $300 billion.
Jesus.
That's real fucking money. $300 billion. And those guys, they started one of the exchanges. So it's called Gemini, but they started that and they invested in Bitcoin. They were hedging on the fact that Bitcoin was going to be at this level. So yeah, $300 billion. I don't know if that's enough money for you guys, but
No, that is more. How do I know it is a real Bitcoin?
what do you
See,
mean?
you know what was happening in Las Vegas? There were so many people that there was so much craziness.
You'll
with the
know
real
if it's
estate.
a real Bitcoin if you get it in your wallet. You'll get a pending transaction.
Where do I go get a wallet?
You got to go online.
I put in Bitcoin wallet.
Bitcoin wallet exchange. I would recommend not holding your Bitcoins on a wallet. You know, if you're holding like $1,000, okay, it's probably not a big deal. But once you actually start getting some dough in this thing, you don't want it to get hacked. You don't want somebody to. Somebody can literally just follow you, get your shit, and they
So
have
what do I
access to
do?
all
Like
your stuff.
as soon as it gets to something, I just cash out. Is that what you're saying? Cash out?
Just you gotta know what are you keeping it on an exchange so that you can trade, or are you trying to, you can also hold it offline and just let it appreciate. You can just hold. There are different terminologies.
Can they hack it when I hold?
If you put it on a cold storage wallet, no, unless like they break into your house and take it.
Interesting.
So interesting.
Well,
But then, even if they have it, they still need the 15-word keys and the mnemonic passwords to get all.
So interesting.
I know we just
It's
hit
not
the tip
easy.
of the iceberg on this, Dale, and we appreciate you giving us some of the ins and outs. But how can people get a hold of you and keep in contact to see you building this university that you got going on?
You can follow me on Instagram. Instagram would be the best way to
Okay.
keep in touch. I literally I've been working on this with my partners, so yeah, follow me on Instagram, and I'll be releasing more information on that. My Instagram's Dale Y Song, DALEYSONG. Follow me on Instagram, and if you guys follow me on there, I'll probably throw out some kind of like promo code too, where you guys can get a deal on it.
Cool.
But literally, I've just put countless fucking hours of time and research, and just built up a community of people that I trust, other people that provide valuable information, of just sharing knowledge and really just understanding where
Are
it's
there a
going.
lot of chicks in the Bitcoin? Are there some hot chicks in the Bitcoin yet? Any bitches in the Bitcoin? The bitches in the Bitcoin say hey.
Yeah, well, we could probably do better with that.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate it, Dale. We'll check back up with you because we plan on trying to
I'm
make some
interested, dude. I want to buy something. I want to be into this. I'm
If
very
you guys
interested.
don't, it would just be foolish.
Well, hey, man, I'm in, dude. I just got to
It-
figure it out. I got to go okay, so I'm going to go hand 15 grand to somebody and come away with a Super Mario chip.
Yeah.
money. Figure it out.
So interesting.
We'll stay in touch with you and we'll figure this out.
Can
as
I
it
name
goes.
my Bitcoin? Like, this is my buddy.
Fuck yeah.
It's my buddy, Bitcoin. Now it's time for everyone's favorite part of the show. The people demand it all the time. And it's what we call, do you have the music?
Oh, yeah. Here we go. I forgot.
Real quick. Aaron.
Don't be an idiot.
Wake up! The Lord told me to tell you, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake.
So I strongly suggest that you wake the fuck up.
You filthy animal.
Time for everyone's favorite part. Aaron, thoughts?
It's just funny that I have to like adjust the levels on this music. That's about me. It's just bizarre. I'm be honest. I was paying attention. I still don't get it.
Yeah. I get it. I get it.
I do want to know what the going rate on how many bitcoins is a murder. Is it like 3, 4?
Yeah. No, I think a murder would be
Depends on
one
where
Bitcoin.
Depends on where you are.
You can get
Yeah,
a good
yeah, yeah.
murder for about $5,000 if you talk to the right person. But just know, most likely, you're talking to an FBI agent.
Oh yeah. But you ask them, they have to tell you.
No,
No, they don't.
I know a guy with red hair and a beard that'll do it for cheap, man. On the low. I'll give you his name.
But it's interesting, right, man?
Yeah. It's,
it did open my mind. I get it now.
I would be so scared that I'm not technically savvy enough to be safe. You know what I mean?
Well, you got to get into it, dude. I know this guy opening a school. They will teach you everything.
This is also coming from the guy that thinks his cell phone goes out every time he drives by the Church of Scientology in North Hollywood. So
It does.
I want your school to sponsor this show, and we'll work something out so we get the word out for you, that people know about your Bitcoin Academy.
Yeah, it's going to be, I mean, basically, we're going to give all the information you need to know in order to understand it, because that's the important thing. And not only that, though, if you actually do want to get into it, there's a lot of volatility. So training people to understand how that volatility and training the different strategies.
I got a question, though. How am I going to make it rain Bitcoin on the strippers? Am I just going to throw fucking Bitcoins at them?
You could just bring like.
you just yell at your number.
You just bring
1,
a cool
2, 3,
mill.
4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12.
Yeah. I like that. This is very educational. I enjoyed this. I learned a lot, and I'm ready to invest.
Hell yeah. We appreciate all your guys' 5-star reviews on iTunes. It's
You
been
guys have
helping
helped
out.
us become a top 40 podcast on iTunes. Aaron, thoughts on that?
It's great. Love it.
That's kind of cool, right?
That's exciting.
It is
awesome.
exciting.
That's pretty fucking
How many
dope.
podcasts do you think there are, comedy podcasts there are? It's got to be like 8 million,
Thousands.
right?
Yeah, but how many All Things Comedy podcasts that you're personally on the side of that is in the top 40? 1? 2? You do the dollop from time to time?
I do.
All right. There you
Dollop's killing it.
I think they just watch it to see the redheaded Jesus.
go. Hey, there
Well,
you go.
dude, I'm with you. Everybody loves this
So
guy.
5-star
Everybody
reviews.
loves him. I'm like every time we hang out, I'm like the fat chick. He just hands me his purse and goes dances on the fucking floor.
You're funny. I'm funny looking.
You know,
We're
you're
a
good.
good
You're not
combo.
funny. Like you're like a young William Dafoe.
Goddamn.
Ooh.
All
Yeah.
right. 5-star reviews. Thank you, Tinfoil Hat from Yeah Buddy. My favorite podcast. I can't wait for what's next. Where justice is denied, where poverty is enforced, where ignorance prevails, and where one class is made to feel that the society is the organized conspiracy to oppress, rob, and degrade them, neither persons nor property will be safe. Frederick Douglass. So we got a time traveler that left a 5-star review.
I was going to
Yeah,
say,
that's
is
what
that
we
the
got. I
is
like-
that the credo of the Three Amigos?
I think so.
Maybe.
All right,
Whatever is
awesome.
injustice.
That's my favorite, dude.
Here it goes. This one's by Elm Street Detective. Keep up the great work, Samwise.
Yeah.
Awesome. Sweet.
Did you see? No, where's the one?
No, you pointed at that one.
Oh, that's
So,
one.
all right, and this one right here is from Room 6177. I drive an armored truck, and I just discovered the podcast. And I listened to 40 episodes this week. Love the show. Stay woke.
Stay woke, motherfucker.
That's awesome.
Stay woke.
Here he
Where
goes.
is the one I like? Ah, fuck, I can't find it.
There. So keep on sending in those 5-star reviews. This is how it pops up on Al's radar.
The guys, the more the reviews you give us, the more 5-star. You can even say we suck. Just give us them 5 stars.
And this is the last one of 2017, and you guys will see us in a new studio soon, right? A new sexy
What
studio.
is up with that, Ryan? I mean, Aaron, what's up with that?
Get your Bitcoins.
Get your Bitcoins, dog.
Yeah, we're not there yet, but we're getting closer.
Yep.
It's like the website, the Punch Drunk website. 2 weeks
don't
away.
even get me started on that.
Keep on emailing
Don't
us at
fucking get
Tinfoil
me
Hat
started.
Pod for future guests and any type of topics. We got big shit coming in 2018.
Here
guys.
is it. Sam is our generation's Art Bell. That was the one I really liked.
Ooh.
We're going to start doing these all the time. I enjoyed this episode. Guys, thank you so much for your support. Again, email us. Check out the T-shirts. I'm going to put that Jesus Was Woke. How about that? That's a good shirt, dog. Jesus Was Woke, dog. We love you guys. This show is not possible without your guys' enthusiasm. If you know people are into it, spread the word. The bigger the show gets, the better the guests get. We love you guys very much. Without you guys, this show doesn't happen. We appreciate everything you do, and we will see you in 2018.